Hey guys, Somebody's Gun here. Today we're going to be doing another POI analysis. I know you guys have requested more of these, so today I'm going to be breaking down Frenzy Farms, going to show you the pros and cons of this location, as well as the potential landing spots where I would suggest to land, and then maybe a loot route out of it or where you want to rotate to afterwards. So make sure to stay tuned to the end. Thank you guys for watching. If you do enjoy the video, feel free to like and subscribe. It's super appreciated. Thank you, and let's dive right into it. Frenzy is an interesting POI. There's tons of corn, which make it a little annoying to try and loot, and definitely obnoxious when you're coming through this location because you never know if someone's going to be hiding in the corn. As far as pros, we have the location. It's good on materials. It's got lots of noms or white consumables, and as well as there's multiple loot options, so you don't have to land in one place. There's no one central best place to land in. There's going to be a few places you can land and loot and get decent loot from, as well as jump into a fight. The cons to Frenzy are, one, it's going to have alright loot and ammo. There's not a ton of loot and ammo compared to other POIs. There's enough, especially for solos, but when it comes to trios and larger team modes, you might struggle when landing here. There's the corn, which can be a bonus if you know how to play it, but also can be a huge negative when people hide in the corn and sneak you. There's not a ton of metal. There's definitely enough. Again, for solos, it's not going to be an issue, and it's quite a wide open POI. So if you're on the house or the barn, people are going to have huge abilities and sight lines to see anyone here at this POI. Now, to me, one of the biggest positives of a Frenzy POI is its central location. It's slightly off-centered, and you don't have as many people landing there as the Authority, yet you still have that ability to rotate fairly easily to almost anywhere on the map. There's a couple of boat spawns that you can grab, and then you could use the water, whirlpools, or simply just walk to get yourself a solid rotation from the Frenzy initial landing spot to wherever you need to go for first, second, third zone. The materials of Frenzy are very solid. You really won't run into an issue for wood. There's plenty of brick here, and as the map and water level recedes, we're going to see more brick become uncovered. So there's plenty now, but there will only become more. The real only issue is going to be metal, and again, for solos, it's not going to be an issue. These two towers here, or the silos here, are going to be able to give you tons of metal if you farm them from the top down, as well as the occasional llama may pop up on the house. It's a fairly grounded location, so you'll get your fair share of llamas here at Frenzy. And now let's not forget the nom boxes. We see them here in the kitchen and the bottom floor of the house, and there's multiple spread across the rest of the POI. These are going to give you different kinds of consumables that are going to help you regardless of what your gameplay is. They're either going to give you shield, health, or especially in solos, I would take these peppers, because those peppers and the speed boost they give you is a free rotate, as well as throws people off during engagements because they're so used to you playing and moving at a certain speed. A pepper is obviously going to throw someone off. Mine and a lot of people's probably least favorite part about Frenzy Farms is going to be the corn. It's a real pain when you're trying to fight someone, they run into the corn and you can't find them anymore. But on the other hand, if you land here often and learn to use the corn to your advantage and fight people within it, you're going to learn that you can see where they are. All you have to do is get above, and when they move in the corn and you're above them, you can see the corn move as well. So you can track them, honestly, or you could just jump in the corn yourself and use the peaks to take free shots at people. Another con to Frenzy is going to be the openness, not only at the POI itself, but when you move around it. To the north, there's a large open field overseen by a huge mountaintop. Then even trying to rotate into Orchard, there's not much coverage. And then there's water to the east. So not much to rotate through and out of. Even to the south, it's wide open almost. There's a little bridge area and a few trees, but to be honest, not much coverage rotating out and while you're in Frenzy. The two houses, or the barn and the house, are going to be two major places where you can grab vision and information on players at Frenzy. So if you're landing here, I would recommend these two, and let's go right into different looting spots. Frenzy Farm is essentially split into 5 different areas. Now, the 2 areas that I would recommend you landing are either the house or the barn. As I talked about earlier, they're going to give you much more vision and information as to what's going on at the POI. But that doesn't mean they're the only places you can land. They're going to be the 2 most loot condensed areas. Again, another reason to land at them, and they'll also give you protection while farming and looting. The rest of it's fairly open, so you're vulnerable to get shot and not be able to farm as many materials, get as much loot as if you were to land at these 2 spots. Now, the other spots we have over to the left is going to be the first windmill, and that's going to be the windmill all the way up to that red small barn. That's going to give you a decent bit of loot. Again, you can loot that third party a fight and not have to contest one of the 2 major spots, the house and the barn, that people are going to land at. So there's a bunch of different ones of these. There's going to be the southernmost point with this little house, as well as a couple sheds that you can loot. That's going to give you enough loot to fight. You'll be able to get a couple boxes, and the last one is going to be up in the top right corner of my screen here. Again, another windmill location, but multiple chests, corn that you can loot, as well as a few floor spawns. But that's going to be one of the least material heavy areas. So I would recommend, if you're landing there, to either rotate into that area or to quickly rotate through it. You don't want to get stuck here too long because you're not going to have a ton of materials. As promised, here's a couple different rotations out of Frenzy Farm. Now first, we have the most obvious, straight through Authority, but I'm going to warn you, if you're going to rotate through Authority, do so ASAP. The longer you wait, the more congested this area becomes. Lots of players rotate through this location, so if you have a zone in the southwest corner, make sure to get your loot and get out of Frenzy as quick as you can. Then you have the simple south rotation down to the gas station. That's going to be able to put you on different mountains to the north of Lazy, or you can even rotate to the mountains to the north of Retail. Then we have the boat, which can be grabbed and rotated out towards the old grotto. And then when you get those southeast zones, you could take this rotation down, grab dead side, and put yourself in a great position on one of those mountains. Finally, you have the straight north rotate up through the orchard, or you can avoid it, go to the east or west of it, grab Zate Hill if you don't want to go that far north, or even push further north to get these elevated positions to the north of Orchard and even up by the weather station. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found this video enjoyable and it was helpful to understand Frenzy as a POI. As always, feel free to like and subscribe to my channel. Additionally, check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/somebodiesgun. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time.